Hello. I hope I'm live. Waiting to see if something comes up on my tablet here. Okay, looks like I'm going. All right. Let me see if I can make sure my volume is turned down. Okay, it looks good from there. Hoping I can get it so I can see. Okay, I think I got it so I can see comments. All right. So, I know I've been missing, not doing a lot of videos lately. It's been crazy times. My daughter, as you know, is expecting and getting ready for her shower. We had that, and getting ready to go to crops and family things, and the grandkids are back in school and sports, and it's been great to get around, but it kind of threw my scheduling off. So I want to get back into doing videos now that things are a little calmer. And this is something that I did close to my heart. Had a album retreat virtual, and we made all of these pages, and it was just such a fun time. It was a little expensive, but you got some stamp sets and some goodies to go along with it, and a lot of videos and techniques I learned, and how-to instruction. It was incredible. So I wanted to go through this real quick and show you some of the unique things that we learned on here. Was a lot of stickles that came with it on this one, and stamping and layout, and the wood grain paper usage in this whole album is phenomenal. I got so many pages. I'll be ready for this Christmas. And I think I will make everybody dress up in the colors to match the pages. So does anybody do that? I don't. I do. Okay, so this is the opening page. And then we've got a 2-page layout. Make sure it's in camera here. And this was a lot of fun. You just use the little pieces in here on your sage background, and then layered up all the poinsettias and stamped images and these flowers. We got a exclusive stamp set with this album, so it's only available with the album, and it was a E size, so you got this one and this one. A lot of different images that were hand drawn and fun images to use, and we use them a lot. We got a stencil as well that went with it. This is the stencil, and we use that a lot. So I put some glitter glue here, or the stickles, and I like the smudging it. You know, you're always worried about getting the perfect dots, and I'm like, I don't worry about the perfect dots. Like up here, I just take my finger and do this, and I make it look like I wanted it smudged. But the gold glitter paper that was in this Comfort and Joy paper collection is gorgeous, and we used all but 3 or 4 stickers and all of the glitter paper embellishments with this kit. It was just incredible. And the black ribbon, it's the, what do you want to call it? I have it here. It's the fuzzy ribbon. So I'll think of it while we're walking through this. So that's a 2-page, and then another 2-page. And this one, I wasn't real, the smudging background, it was done with the Distress Oxide inks, and I think I used the wrong plastic to smudge. I would have rather had a much smoother background, but it is what it is, and it's a beautiful layout. Otherwise, I love putting the stamp border down, and there is a dashed stamp in the kit, so that was really cool to use all around these pages. And we used Distress Oxide ink to color banner pieces, so that was a lot of fun. The Distress Oxide inks are really nice. And then this one, isn't that beautiful? I love the wood grain with the brown. I just love it with the gold and the black. And this is something I wouldn't do, but I love it. So I hope now that, I have that in my mind that I can do it, I'm going to do it more. This is the wood grain that I inked with some of the Candied Apple ink, the Distress Oxide ink. And we used stickles all on these pieces. And on the wood, we stickled. It was just really nice. Real easy layouts that are just phenomenal. Alright, so some ideas for, the holidays coming. Okay, and this is another one. Now, they didn't do the Distress Oxide background like I did. So, they had it like this and down. I think it was like this. So I did the wrong corner before I noticed what I had done, and it is what it is again, right? So you got to go with the flow, and some more of the smudging and the wooden stars and just the glitter paper stars. It's just beautiful. I think once I get pictures on there, it's going to look even better, right? Okay, next 2-page. Isn't this incredible? Oh, these are 2 1-pagers. All right, so we'll do just this Fa La La. And this was stenciled with this stencil, okay, like this, with the Distress Oxide. And we stamped on the tree triangles that were made into trees, and stamped the little dots they were in the stamp set. And the little border here. Oh, and this paper was just white daisy, and we did the ombre effect with the different oxide inks. And then you splatter it with water to get those dots. That was really cool. And some more of that really nice fuzzy ribbon. Okay, and this one, they used the other side, which was a really whitewashed. I did it with a warmer tone, and then I used that red ink again, the Candied Apple ink, Distress Oxide ink again. And I like it being a nice warmer wood tone. And with this one, we took strips of paper, like zip strips or leftover paper, and laid it down in the star layout. And isn't that cool? We could just do that with any strips of paper you have. So, yeah, that was a really eye-opening layout that I like. And then they did the flip-flap here. So once I put it in my page protector, I can have another photo. Okay. I like to put a lot of photos on my pages, but... Alright, next one. Christmas traditions. And this is something that I've never done. But I think it's going to be really fun this year to realize all the things I do year after year after year. So I'm going to do this as pictures. You can put a picture or journaling. There's a lot of places for journaling to write down everything that is a tradition for you. And they have 12. I don't know if I have 12, but I'm probably going to be surprised once I start thinking about it. And the first thing is Christmas cards, and that's what tonight's live is going to be, because I need to do Christmas cards before I go to Texas, which is next month, so I got to get on the ball. Okay, next 2-page, and this was pink dotted paper that we sponged on the distress inks to make it an ombre effect, and that was really pretty. I really like those ombre or the oxide inks there. Yeah, I've been using them a lot. Okay, and these are just circles from the paper and stamped on and inked. And this was a wooden star that was done with the Distress Oxide. and a few little stamps along the borders here and some paper, and it was so easy. And this is actually white daisy that was stamped with the almond, or no, toffee ink. Oh, and layered on the little ornaments. Very sweet page. Okay. Oh, this was a nice one. This next one was a lot of stenciling. So they did different colors than I did. I used the opposite side of the paper that they use because I really like the pink and the bluebell, our new color. So it was just taking this and sponging through to get the snowflakes. And I used almost all the bluebell with pink and the evergreen, second generation evergreen, so it wasn't so pink green. And then the pink here with the bird. It's just beautiful. All that glitter and oh, just luscious. Just luscious. I just really love it. I worked on this. This was a 2-day event, and of course I had company this past weekend, so I wasn't able to participate live, but I did it afterwards, and really enjoyed it. Okay, this one I really like it. The trees, they did rectangles folded, and they were just plain trees. I stamped on the layers and used the scalloped stamp to stamp on it, and then I cut it out in the scallop, and then I put glitter glue over it. And I got that idea from the actual Comfort and Joy scrapbooking workshop, because it had the scallop tree pieces that I put together a couple weeks ago, and it was really pretty. So I thought, I'm gonna copy that idea and do it like that. And I really love how it turned out. It's just so glittery and glistening. I don't know if you can see it in with the camera. It's just gorgeous. So it's plain red, a strip of the Comfort and Joy, and black. And they actually have a flip flap that goes here. It's a 5x7, so that's going to go here when I get it in my album, so that I'll have 2 more pictures. I don't know if I'll have 5x7s. What I'll probably do is do a 4x6 and put a border in there, but that'll be similar to this one. Okay, so that's that one. And then this one, I did the little one of the stamp sets we got was an alphabet with all these little board label things, tags, whatever you want to call it. They're flags, yes, flags, and the alphabet fits perfectly in them. So that was a lot of fun to make. It's a perfect size too. It's not too big, and it's not too small where you won't have to be able to read it. All right. And last one was this one, and this was just triangles. Well, they were squares, cut them in half, and then laid them out in a triangle fashion, and then added some poinsettia die cuts. We're gonna do those tonight. So isn't that beautiful? All right. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun, and I think they actually opened it up to consultants. Well, we're makers now. Open it up to makers, and then if they don't have enough makers sign up, they open it up to the public. So if it's something you're interested in, let me know, and I will send you the link when they open up the next one, which will be in spring, I believe. Okay, so this is the card we're going to make tonight, and a consultant made this and did a video on it, and I said, oh my god, that is just so gorgeous, so I wanted to share it. And it's so simple but so pretty, and I can recreate it a lot for the cards that as many cards as I need, so that's why I'm going to do it. So I'm going to take this out, and what we need is your normal card base, 8.5 by 5.5 folded in half. You're going to need a piece of white daisy is what I have, but white cardstock, and this will be 1/8 of an inch smaller all the way around. Okay, so you have a very small border. So it's 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. Double check on that. 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. Yes. Okay. And this one is going to be stamped on here, and we're going to die cut or thin cut with one of our borders for the edge. Okay. And I do have our new die cutting machine, and it's put away for crops, and it is really nice. And I noticed my Sizzix, look at this, the magnetic shim is falling apart, it's peeling. I use it a lot. So once this thing dies, the other one will be my go-to for everything else. Maybe I'll have to get one for here and one for crops. Okay, so what you're going to do is take any border thin cut or long thin cut and cut your piece almost in half at a diagonal. Okay, depending on, you know, you could make this smaller or wider depending on what you're putting for your sentiment, so that's up to you. So you run it through, and I love the little dotted border along this. That just adds that interest. So there's that. Love the little dots along the side. Okay. Clean my plates. And that's scrap. Okay. Now for this is our glacier, and we have new embossing folders. And this one, I don't know the name of it, but it is a floral type, but not, it's not all floral. Let's see, there's 4 of them. There's a dot that has a lot of dots down to little, very little dots falling in the air, a wood grain, and a real floral where you can see the flowers. And this is the one that's not a lot of flowers, but it's a nice pattern. It's pretty, but because I need a shim in there, and I have found that my gush pad will create just enough to give me a good impression without having to change over all my other platforms. So I use my magnetic, my cutting shim, my folder, and then the gushy squishy pad. And as you can see, it makes a great impression. Our embossing folders are pretty high quality. Alrighty, so that's what we have for that. I'm going to put this away. I think I've got everything else cut out that I'm going to need. Okay, so this is going to go here. And it's going to go layered on here. So you could make this piece smaller if you want to. It's up to you. Now I'm going to go one step further on this. I didn't do it on this one, but I'm going to use some peacock feathers, distress oxide ink to get those raised areas. Okay. And what I did with those is I put the name on them, and then I put a foam pad on the bottom. You're not supposed to use this ink with your foam pads that you would use with your regular dye inks, because these are a hybrid ink. They're a mix of dye and pigment. So you can use those pads on this, but you don't want to use it back on your dye inks again. It won't hurt this pad, but this ink on your regular dye inks or on your regular pigment inks would change the formulation. Because this is dye and pigment hybrid ink, you can use it, but then you don't want to go back again. Okay, so I got a lot of ink on there, and I really don't want that much because it would really color everything. This pad is really juicy. It's brand new. So look at that saturation of color. Love it. Okay, so now that I got some of the ink off, now, and I'm going to have, I think I'm going to have this edge under showing. So it'll be like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink it up. And look at how it catches on those layers of the embossing. Love it. Okay. All right. What a difference, huh? Yeah, I think I'm going to get this a little bit more. And if you get too much before it starts to dry, it takes a little while to dry because it is a little bit pigment. You can just rub it off. And then you can go back over and add more. You can, all the colors, the way the colors blend is just phenomenal. Let's see how neat it came off. Okay. You might need that. Isn't it funny, as soon as you start a video, your nose starts to run and you sniffle. I'm not sick, I promise. I just sniffle when I do a video. And I got really, there it goes, okay. So, now one thing when you use an embossing folder on these, if you have a tape runner, don't put tape right on here because the embossing folder changed the paper, squished it and moved it and everything. And when you put your tape runner on here, then the paper expands and it gets all wonky and bends, and then you got wrinkles, and just don't do it. Put your tape on here or use a liquid glue. So I'm going to use my liquid glass because this stuff is the best ever. And let's see. The only downfall is it takes a little while to come out. But it will hold once it's on. And because there's so many rivets in this, or divots from the embossing, with a tape runner, it's hard to get in all those little areas, recessed areas. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that. It just adds more dimension and texture, so you can really see it, the difference. Okay, so that side's good. Now we're going to need to stamp the Noel on here, and of course I didn't get that stamp set out, so pardon me while I dig. This is the stamp set here, and this is the Comfort and Joy card making, and there are the die cuts, but not the stamps. Hey, Judy, what did you do with them? There they are. Okay. I'm trying not to get my head in the view because my hair hasn't been combed since this morning. The joy of being retired. Alright, so now I need a stamp block. Okay. This is a really great stamp set for sentiments. It's got Joy to You from me, Noel, a Merry, Merry, oh so very Merry Christmas, like that one, Deck the Halls, and then just a regular Merry Christmas and a banner. And it's got some dots here for a border and a crisscross hatch, a bow. Or on top of the, well, on top of the tree you got stars here too, and then holly leaves and little sprigs. So it's a nice little stamp set. And I think these little holly leaves would go really well because this has holly leaves here too. So just so you know. Okay, so we're going to emboss with the, and my first mark is missing. We're going to emboss with silver. And I'm going to use the Versamark ink pad, and I just re-inked this. I've been using it a lot. I've really gotten back into embossing. Enjoying that a lot. Oh, anti-static pad. Don't forget your anti-static. And I put in here. And you're just going to run, this is just like a powder. Great to keep down the static. Rub that over it. Blow it off. Okay. So I ink this up. I just touch it up and make sure it didn't dry too much. Put it on there. And it's a sticky ink that's clear. And what it does is it allows you to pour on your embossing powder and give you a really great impression. And this is our silver fine line. And it's a Ranger product. Close to my heart, Carries. Thank goodness, because it's great stuff. Lasts you forever and ever and ever. Just look at it, mine's getting down there. I think I've used like a 1/8 of a jar. I'm doing good. It lasts a long time, I'm telling you. It's one of those things that's a great deal. Okay, I'm going to get the heat gun going, and don't tell anyone it's a Stampin' Up! One from forever ago, because my other one is in, it is in my crop bag to go with the crops. I'm going to put that up so it doesn't dry out on me. Alright, so you let your heat gun get warm, and then you're going to go onto your cardstock and watch it melt. And I love the look at silver. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. Okay. And that is that. Now I also have to emboss a couple of little leaves with the white. Yeah, there they are. These little sprigs. They're so pretty on vellum. Our vellum is great. It's with white. And where did my pouch go? There it is. Try to get this done correctly. Usually I will stamp and emboss and then die cut, but I noticed on the vellum that some of the plastic embossing was flaking off, so you have to be really, really careful. So I thought, well, I was doing it again tonight, I will do it the other way and see if it works better. So my chamois are even getting used up. It's a good sign that, you know, my stuff is getting used, right? I guess if that's why it's deteriorating is because I'm using it, it's a good thing. Alright, so I'm going to get the stamp, and this is the other stamp. This is our Comfort and Joy Scrapbooking Stampin' Thin Cuts. This is like beautiful. Love this. It gives you the 3 leaves, 3 layers for the poinsettia, the little sprigs, and 2 great sentiments. It's Christmas cheer is gorgeous, and Merry Memories little banner. And this bow is cute. I think I have a problem with stamping. I just love it. But anyway, these are all the thin cuts. So you see you get so many thin cuts. Alright, so this is a stamp set. Here. Put it on something where you can see it, where I'm not having a million things under it so you can see it. Okay, so this is the sprig that we need. I wish they made these 1x2s again. It comes in handy. I use it a lot. I hope I get this layered up. Okay. Really doesn't matter. Nobody's going to really see that I didn't have it lined up, right? No one will notice. But me. And all of you. Alright. Sometimes it's easier to do it when you're not on same color background. So, keep that in mind. I could have put white paper or black paper, something so I could have seen it better. Alright, so now we're going to do white. Make sure there's no silver in there. Oh my guys, get on there. Tweezers come in really handy for these little guys. When you've got fingers like mine, come on, get off of there. You don't want them to go on the other side is the problem. Alright, now I need my white embossing powder. This is also available through Close to My Heart from Ranger. Alright, I like to do the little jig. Oops. Oops. This is why I didn't do it this way. Because you can't hang on to it, right? Blow it off, put it on there. I love our craft mat that is heat resistant. Blow off the stray specks. Okay. Those are good. Pour this back in. And I cleaned this little catch-all container here with rubbing alcohol to get it to quit sticking. Everything was sticking to it. Even with the anti-static powder ran around in there, it kept sticking. So if you wash it out, rub it with rubbing alcohol, it really makes it reduce on the amount of static for, well, I don't know, it's been all afternoon, so it's been a while. Alright, so now we're going to heat emboss again. And these will probably go flying. So I'm going to hold them down together. Let's see, I'll put this one aside. And I will hold these two together. I hope you can hear me talking. My tweezer, oh. My tweezer's keeping it from heating up. We'll get it. Only in the video, right? If I weren't doing the video, I'd be able to pick that baby up quick. Just one little area that doesn't want to emboss. Okay, that one's done. That one's done. Okay, sorry about that. That took a little longer than I wanted to do. But it was what it was, right? Got them done. I think I need a little practice doing that, but I think it worked better, and they look better than they did the other way when I stamped and embossed and then cut out with a thin cut. I think running it through the die cutting machine to cut it out presses on that embossing and loosens it up from the vellum is what was happening before to me. So, okay, these little sprigs we're going to stamp with some, I did the evergreen ink on this. I think I'm going to use a gray to match. So let me pull that out. Let's see. Let's use pewter ink. Alright, so I'm done with this. Get this cleaned up. Has anybody else started their Christmas cards yet? I need to get all mine done and out early this year. I'll be heading to Texas around Thanksgiving for the birth of my next grandchild, my first for Melissa, my daughter. and I want to get it all done before I leave, so I don't have to worry about it. And I want to concentrate on her and the baby when I get down there. Although I will sneak some scrapbooking stuff down with me. I'm still thinking about driving because I had flights, direct flights down and direct flight back. I don't want to subject myself to any germs on the plane. And they emailed me and said I now have 2 stops on the way down and 1 stop on the way back. So it'd be like an 8-hour flight down and a 7-hour flight back. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to bring any germs down to her and the baby, so I may just be driving. Me and my pup, Chili Bean. She says, let's go, Mama. And that way I can stop and see my dad on the way. So, and my brother. I wish I could go to Florida too and see my sister, but maybe that'll be my next trip. I love having my truck that I can feel safe and secure and stop and relax and rest if I need to. Okay, so those are my sprigs, all nice and stamped. And I'll put this back. And I'm trying to train myself to put everything back right away or I lose it. I've lost a couple of little thin cuts and I'm very mad at myself because you can't replace them unless you buy the whole thing again, right? So take care of it so you don't have to do that. Okay, now the flowers that are on here are cut with the white glitter paper, which cuts great, and I already cut them out, and that was with the scrapbooking thin cuts, these 3 that I told you were wonderful. And I'm not going to stamp on them, they're just done with the glitter and a vellum. Okay, and some times I use this for the leaves and cut it with green, usually for the leaves. But for this, we're doing the vellum layer. That's how the other consultant did it, and I thought it was just lovely, just lovely. Done with that, and that, the sprigs. What else do we need? Nothing, we're good. Okay, let's put it together. So, this is a little drier now. It takes a little while to dry. I'm going to put this on, and now I can use my tape runner. Make sure it's dry because it might not stick to that because of all the impressing in there. You want to make sure that it sticks well. So line it up in the corner and hope it covers the top. It did, yay. Okay, it's so pretty. Alright, so on my craft mat again, I can do the liquid glass, works great with the glitter paper. And it's plugged because I didn't cover it back up. So I keep these handy dandy little needles in here because they are phenomenal to unplug it. And they are quilting needles, the real fine ones. So they'll fit down that little fine tip applicator. The fine tip applicator has a little metal thing here to clean it out when you put it on, but I think the needles work better. They're a little bit thicker than that. So there's that. One more. For this one. And I curled these, I curled the top one anyway with my bone folder. So you just take it, roll it along there to curl them. I didn't do the 2 bottom layers. This gives it just a little more dimension. When you mail it, it'll fold down, squish down, but the glitter paper is thick enough where it will hold its shape, so once it's out of the mail and out of the envelope, it will pop back up again. Not quite like that because it'll be glued down, but okay, before we glue it down, we're going to put on some of this silver thread. Okay, and this is our embellishing thread, and it's 3-ply, I believe. So, and this is like lasts me forever. It's just incredible how long it lasts. So I wrap it around my fingers all 3 times, give it a snip, and I use a regular micro tip scissors, not the non-stick kind, because the non-stick does not cut thread and material. I don't know why, but it's made for cutting sticky things. And I use a glue dot, run it around on those, so they are now encased in glue dot. And we can go here, and we'll do another one. Run it with my bone folder to get all the creases out. Around my fingers again, and another glue dot. And I put this little thread around my glue dots and just slide it along so it doesn't come all unraveled. That was a cool tip close to my heart gave us. I can't even remember when, but oh my gosh. I used to have this all unraveled in my drawer of crafty stuff, and it was like, oh, what a pain in the butt. Alright, that one may have come undone, so let's wrap it back up there. Alright. So that will go there. So we've got 2 loop-de-loops. And now I'm going to cover that with my liquid glass so that it doesn't come undone and the poinsettia will stick down to it and cover it up. Okay, and you can adjust the little threads whichever way you want. I like it like that. I'm going to actually slide it a little bit so that it's not covering Noel. Notice that vellums stay right over top of that glitter paper. That's all right. Okay, just keep that down. You can put a block on it to weigh it down. All right, so we're going to get our little sprigs and put them in there. And this is another liquid glass. Just slide it in there. Liquid glass, if you put it real fine on your vellum, it doesn't really show, but of course I'm going to put it where underneath the leaves so you won't see it anyway, but it makes it easier to slide in there too than having, maybe not have it open well, not having it show it all. Here. I'll do the 3s and the triangle under the thread there. Alright, where's the other one? Here's a sprig. Oh, that's a plain one. Alright, where did they go? Did they go hiding on me again? Right in front of me. Why didn't you tell me? Okay. Teresa, hi! Yes, I wish you'd go to Texas with me too. My daughter actually called this week, a couple days ago, and said that she hadn't felt the baby move in 6 hours. So she was on her way to the hospital to have stress tests done. And I was almost ready to go pack. She says, oh no, it's way too early. I said, hey, when the baby says he's coming, he's going to come, right? So, but yeah, you can go with me. We'll go for Thanksgiving, stop in Raleigh and have a visit with my dad and my brother, and then off to Texas. Where do I want this? I want that right there. I think here. Yeah. Okay, so now we have left is the embellishing here. And what I did there was that I put 3 of the silver glitter gems and then covered it with the silver stickles. And we're going to use liquid glass because the adhesive on those sticker things just never seems to last forever. And I don't want a recipient to get this and have the gems at the bottom of the envelope, right? So, Yes, I'll drop you off in Houston. That's where I'm going. And then you can fly back. If you don't want to stay as long as I'll be there. I'll be there for 3 to 4 weeks. Alright, so silver gems. Where are you? Here they are. Silver glitter gems. And you get lots and lots of these, and you can see I don't have many left. I've been using them. I'm going to use the big ones for this. And just put it down in that liquid glass. And this liquid glass will dry hard as a rock. And they will not ever come off. Even with a sledgehammer. Well, maybe. Alright. Rule of threes. More pleasing to the eye for whatever reason. Okay. And silver stickles. Give it a pound to make sure it doesn't burp on you. Give it a test squeeze. Looks good. And then I'm just going to fill in around these gems. And you can't tell where they are there to make sure that you have them perfectly. So if you go off a little, it's okay. It's just the getting that extra sparkle. And then you give it a couple dots. And don't put your fingers on it after this. Now you put it up to dry. Okay. I love this design. So glad the consultant did these. I like them both. I like this better with the blue. I do like the deeper color. I think I like the green berry stems better though. I don't know. Alright, well, I will come back with more Christmas cards soon. Hopefully twice a week, if not 3 times a week, to inspire me to get more done, because I need to get them done, and hopefully inspire you to get some done. And if you have any questions or need anything, let me know. So, have a great night. Bye-bye.